Today we have the Lenovo Legion Slim 7i for review, so let's get to it. Hi, welcome to Zgadgetreview. Here we are, the review for the Lenovo Legion Slim 7, and I must say that I am actually pretty happy with this laptop. Not only the build quality, form factor, but the power that the device can actually provide in such a small package. So without further ado, let's get into all the features of this device, starting with the specs. The Intel Core i7 12700H. So this is a 12th generation Intel chip. Then we have the Nvidia RTX 3060 memory. Comes with 16 gigs of DDR5. Then we have the screen size is 16-inch 1920 by 1200, and that supports 165 hertz. The storage on this particular laptop is 512 gigabytes and is NVMe M.2 SSD. It supports Wi-Fi 6E, and this comes back with a 71-watt battery. Alright, so something to keep in mind with the Legion Slim 7i is that it comes, this particular model, with 512 gigs of SSD that you can, of course, change. It comes with a free slot, so you can add more storage as well. Same thing if it comes with a 1 terabyte variant. The one caveat or downside is the RAM. The RAM has an 8 gigabyte stick that's soldered to the motherboard, so you cannot exchange that one. This particular model comes with 16 gigs to 8 gig stick. So the 8 gig stick that's soldered to the motherboard plus a freestanding 8 gig stick, which means that you can add more RAM to this, except you wouldn't be able to split it as if you wanted to do 2 16 sticks, for example. So that is, I will say, a little bit of a downside, that you cannot update both RAM sticks. Sticking with the screen has up to 300 nits, anti-glare, is 100% sRGB rated, supports Dolby Vision, G-Sync, and you can also change it to low blue light if the blue light bothers you. Let's look at the camera. The camera supports 1080p, and here you can see me using it. I'm not using any microphones or anything. I'm talking directly to you at the camera. I'm using, of course, studio lights, professional lights, but even with all the lights, I feel like I'm looking a little red, redder than I should. I don't know if that's part of the camera, but I mean, it looks pretty good. Doesn't have any special features where it follows you or anything like that, like Apple cameras, but I will say that it's serviceable. Now, going through the port, we have a full-size SD card reader. We have this toggle where you can turn on and off the camera. So if you want to have your privacy, there's a privacy toggle. Then we also have the headphone jack, which also works as a microphone jack. Moving to the other side, which will be the left side of the laptop, we have 2 Type-C ports. The farther back one, the one closest to the vents or to the exhausts, is a Thunderbolt 4 port, and the one closer to the front of the laptop is a 3.2 Gen 2 Type-C port. The rest of the ports are in the back of the laptop, and here we have the HDMI 2.1 output port. Then we have 3 USB 3.2 Gen 2 ports, and then we have where the power connector goes. Now, in the back of the device, where you can see all the ports, this area also lights up. The laptop is aluminum at the top and bottom, and it is a full piece of aluminum. It is iron sandblasting anodized, and the color is onyx gray. Now, looking at the device, it's not very heavy. It's 4.5 pounds, and it doesn't have any flex, as you can see. There's a pretty rigid model that, you know, is going to be sturdy when you're carrying it. The screen does have some flex, and I'm going to show you here. It is a very thin screen, and it does have some flexibility when you move it. Let me show you here. So here you can probably see it better. So it has a little bit of a give, but it's nothing crazy. And the body is actually pretty rigid when you press on the keys here, because it's all aluminum and one piece of aluminum. You're not going to feel any flexing on the body of the laptop. Okay, so here goes a keyboard test. And here goes a mouse test. I do like the design of the laptop. I like that it's all aluminum, and so it's a very sturdy device. I like the brush that they have on the sides. It gives it a shine to the way the device looks when it hits the light. I do like also that it doesn't scream gaming laptop. Like a lot of gaming laptops out there, you can take this to work and people wouldn't know that it's a gaming laptop. So I like that aspect of it. I also didn't have any issues when I was typing. There is enough space for my hands to rest at the bottom of the laptop when I'm typing. It is pretty comfortable to use. I did have some instances where I hit the mouse with my hand because my hand is pretty big, and the way it was moving, it will brush the mouse. But I didn't do anything. I just saw the cursor move around a few times. I do like that even though it is a pretty small device, they were smart enough to add a 10 key on the side. So if you are someone who does calculations or things like that, you will be able to have a full 10 key here. It is a little on the small side, but it'll work for what you need. The keyboard might feel a little cramped if you have big hands like I do. Like I said, the only issues that I had is when I have my hands resting, a couple of times I brushed over the mouse. It wasn't a big deal. The key travel feels really nice. That typing experience feels really good. So on that department, I will say that it's a good job. The only downside, like I said, might feel a little cramped. The dimensions are 14.8 wide by 10.24 deep and 0.67 inches height. So it's a pretty thin laptop. I really like the fact that it pretty much goes all the way flat, as you can see here. So the screen goes all the way flat. You could almost make it into, if it went all the way back, it will technically become like a Lenovo Yoga. The laptop has this lip right here that allows you to lift the screen very easily. Here's a sample of what it sounds like when you're playing a game. The device does ship with Nahimic software where you can tailor how the speakers sound. So it's supposed to give you a better job, and it's also equalizing the sound depending on what you are doing. But I will say that it doesn't make a huge difference when it comes to the performance of the speakers. This comes with a fingerprint sensor on the power button, and the fingerprint sensor works extremely well. I haven't had any misreadings when using this. Immediately that you put your finger, it'll take you into the computer. It works just like that. The other thing that they use here for the button, they have a ring of light around it. Like you're seeing it right now is white. And if my battery was going low, that will start blinking once it hits 20%. So it will let me know that the battery, might be draining before you get that alert that your battery is running out. Another thing that I like is that when you change the modes on the fan, if you press function Q, is how you change it. It will give you the whisper. It gives you the blue color. It'll give you auto, which is the white color, and then it'll give you performance mode when it turns red. So you'll be able to tell what mode the computer is set to just by looking at the light on the sensor. Going back to the RGB lighting, as I said, there is no RGB anywhere around the laptop except on the keyboard. You can change the different modes for the RGB if you want it off, if you want it on, if you want a specific pattern or not. Something that's really cool, in my opinion, as well, is when you press the function key, the keys that work with that function key only light up or stay lit up. So everything else in the laptop turns off except the keys that work with the function button. On the battery front, this specific model comes with a 71 watt battery. There are two other models that come with a 99.9 watt battery. I wish that they would have made a 99 watt battery a standard battery across all three models. In terms of battery life, the laptop didn't do that great. I got between 2.5 hours to 3 hours per charge. That means that you're going to want to carry that charger with you at all times. This device comes packed with a max switch where you can change things on the fly. So for example, if you want to overclock your GPU, you can go ahead and do that. It has a network boost. What that means is that it prioritizes your network when you are gaming. It has auto close. This means that it will close any apps that could be interfering with the performance of the laptop when you're gaming. Then you have the GPU working mode. And this gives you different types of ways for the GPU to work. Now, when you change the GPU working mode, that does require a restart of the laptop. So be aware, if you do change it in the middle of something, you will have to restart the computer in order for it to take effect. The laptop doesn't have a lot of bloatware, thank goodness. Comes with McAfee, which you should immediately uninstall. Comes with two other Lenovo apps. This has Lenovo Advantage, which works as the max switch. It also comes with TikTok and Facebook. And like I said, this laptop uses Nvidia Optimus, which allows you to customize graphics performance as you need it while extending your battery life. Now, this specific model is available at Best Buy for $1,700. This is the Intel model. You do have AMD models as well, and those range in price, of course, depending on the specs. Now, let's take a quick look at some benchmarks. Now, when it comes to Premiere Pro times, I did edit the video that you're watching right now, which is 16 minutes and 27 seconds. When I did one pass, so if you are familiar with Premiere Pro, you can do one pass or two passes when you are exporting the video. So when I did the one pass, the time was 20 minutes and 20 seconds. When I did the two passes, the time was 55 minutes and 37 seconds. That gives you an idea of about how long it might take you to edit a video. Now, this is a video shot in 4K, 24 frames per second. When I do my exports, I don't optimize them for YouTube. So I don't use the little YouTube tab to optimize them. I do a straight export and then I upload into YouTube. It is a pretty chunky file. If you do export to YouTube directly, that might be a little different. The device did a pretty good job at staying cool. When I was playing games or doing editing, the hottest that it ever got was high 70s. It never really got to 80. I will say the highest that it got was 78 degrees. And here you can also take a look at how loud the fans get. Now here, for example, on gameplay footage, you can see how the device behaves. If you see there, it got up to 77 degrees. It maintained about 90 frames per second when using the system. Of course, when there was more chaotic stuff going on in the screen, you had that drop there, but it really never got bad where the game wasn't playable. It was always pretty smooth. If you're interested in getting these laptops, you can find this exact configuration at Best Buy. If you want to get the AMD version of these laptops, I have set up links in the description section. If you buy one of these laptops, we get a commission at no extra cost to you, and that will help the channel continue doing more reviews like this. So, thank you. So there you have it, the Lenovo Legion Slim 7i review. As I said, the few downsides are very small things that you can kind of get over. Like I said, the keyboard might feel a little cramped if you have big hands. That camera isn't the best quality, but it does the job, and the microphone in it that's a good job based on what you heard. If you are a content creator, it is great for content creation. You will have everything that you need when it comes to ports, especially that regular size SD card slot. If you're doing Premiere Pro and you're doing heavy projects, this device might not be able to keep up with it with the amount of RAM that it has in there right now. If you add more RAM to it, you shouldn't have any issues. With Photoshop, it's going to do a good job. Gaming is going to do a good job as well. You'll be able to play games, I will say mid to high settings, but you won't be able to maximize everything. And of course, it won't support 4K gaming because the screen is 1080p. It comes with an HDMI 2.1 port output, so you should be able to output gaming to a TV that supports HDMI 2.1 features without any issues. Make sure you subscribe because I will be actually upgrading the SSD on this machine. So if you want to see how that's done, make sure you subscribe for that upcoming video in order to show you how to open the lid without destroying the computer and where to put the SSD and all those good stuff. Eventually, I will also upgrade the RAM. There will be another video for how to upgrade the RAM. I will say for the most part, this is a good device for the price. If you want to wait a few months until it drops a little bit in price, you can also do that. But if you're looking for something that you're going to be able to play games right away and do some content creation without any problems, this is the laptop to get. What are your thoughts on the Lenovo Legion Slim 7i? Do you have any questions? Do you have this laptop yourself? How is it working for you? Let me know in the comment section. That is it for me. Go ahead and subscribe. Give us a thumbs up. It really helps the channel. Go ahead and hit that bell so you can be alerted every time we have new videos. And thank you very much for watching.